Good morning, Doctor. And our project, Elevator Simulation System, we're going to develop our own system by using the C# language, using the Microsoft Visual. And our group name is UMP 5 stars, because we believe that our elevator worth 5 stars. And next, I'm going to introduce the general of C# and its utility. So C# is one of the most popular programming language nowadays. It's a powerful general purpose programming language that is used to develop a number of different programs and applications like mobile apps, desktop apps, cloud-based services, website, enterprise software, and games, especially games. It's considered one of the most popular programming language, along with other programming language like Python, C++, or Java. The purpose of C# is to precisely define a series of operations that a computer can perform to accomplish a task. It is a programming language designed by Microsoft, as I said just now, and released way back in 2002. But it is still relevant. It's still a relevant programming language worth learning in 2021.
So for project background, we are actually developing validator simulation systems in a C# language, and it's actually with the graphic user interface GUI, well known. And then we're actually developing 2 lifts, whereby there is 10 floor each of the lift. And for the control panel outside, is actually show that the passenger are at. Okay, and then the control panel inside the lift is actually show that which floor the passenger are going to. Okay, so for example, a passenger that come from 2nd floor, he will press the button outside the lift. Okay, example is press level 2, then the lift will come to the 2nd floor to fetch him. Then he will choose the desired floor to go, example level 4. Okay, so then when he press level 4, but suddenly when the lift is moving, he want to change his mind to level 10. However, the lift will continue go to level 4 first, and then only then will close the lift door and went back to the level 10 as he desired. Okay, so in the end, he will reach the floor that he desired. So this program is actually a finish to start task link, which means that the first task will be finished first before the second task comes. So with the example above, it's sure that the lift is still going to level lift is still going to level 4, or thought the passenger changed his mind and press level. Okay, so this programming is actually a finish to start task line, which means that the first task will be finished first before the second task comes. So for the lift will still goes to level 4, okay, as its first, or thought the passenger changed his mind and want to go to 10. Yeah, so that is all from the project background, and we will show the demonstration by our team.
Hello everyone, I'm Jing, and I'll describe the GUI layout of our system. So basically we are using 3 main functions for the all Windows form, which is common controls, container, and the components. For the common controls, we design by the buttons, picture box, and the text box. As you can see for the right side of the figure, the first figure of the outside, it contains 10 buttons, and the picture box, we use this command control for the emergency button because it is. And for the text box, we indicate the flows number at the panel beside, at the panel at the side of the GUI, both sides, the long column, that is the text box. And for the container, we use the group box and the panel. Panel is the long column that indicates the elevator on which floor it is moving. And for the group box, we group the 10 buttons in a group for outside and inside for both elevators. And lastly, for the components is the timer. Timer is important for this system to calculate the time interval for every moving of the floor. So we set the timer at 0.5 seconds to show a faster simulation. So next, we design 2 types of system, which is combined and separated. First, the combined elevator system. The black UI is the incoming form, which will show up when we click the exe file. And the right side is the figure for our combined elevator system. So as you can see, it is consist of 2 elevators and 1 emergency button. And this is work on the first come first serve theory, which is it follow the sequence of the array from the user input. Next is the separated elevator system. The advantage of this UI is, or this design is, a user can select elevator they want. For example, elevator 1 or elevator 2. This the emergency stop button is designed for to move elevators separately, and it works for each home early, and the demonstration at the end of video will provide a better understanding. So next will be Dixon.
So, hi everyone. So I'm going to explain about the flowchart, the diagram for our elevator system. So there are 4 types of diagram which I'm going to use to describe our elevator system. So the first one is the user case diagram. So in user case diagram, there are five cases, which is the inside button, outside button, button indication, move stop elevator, and the emergency button. So the passenger will have the role as the actor here, which he will interact with the inside button, outside button, and the emergency button. And then there's a button indication to show whether the user have clicked the button or not. If the button light up, then it shows that the user have already pressed on the button. If the button is not being pressed yet by the passenger, then it will be off. And this is our activity diagram. So the activity diagram is quite simple. So from the start, the initial floor of our elevator is at floor level 1. And after that, for the user to move to another floor, he need to press either inside button or outside button. So for the condition, if inside button is pressed, then user or passenger will select the floor level, and then the elevator will move to the selected floor. And then if the inside button is not pressed but outside button is pressed, then the elevator will move to the floor selected by the passenger also. And to stop and quit the elevator, the user have to press on emergency button in case of emergency, so that he or she will quit the elevator. And for the sequence diagram, the passenger will just interact with the elevator button, and elevator will have a relationship with the elevator controller, and elevator controller will control the movement of the elevator. So when the passenger press the floor or the elevator button, the floor and elevator button will send the input into the elevator controller, which will update the data inside the elevator controller. After that, when the elevator controller receives the input from the button, then the elevator will move according to the data input in the elevator controller. So for example, when the passenger click on floor number 2, the button will have the input of floor number 2, and then controller receive the data. Then the elevator will move to floor number 2. So for the class diagram, as Ching said just now, we have 2 types of elevator system, which is the combined elevator system and the separated elevator system. For the combined elevator system, there are few classes. The important one is just the elevator controller classes, elevator controller class, and the elevator status enumeration class. So in the elevator controller class, we have declared some of the variables such as the current floor, elevator form, status, LVL or panel elevator position, and the status. So for the enumeration, we define the elevator status as up, stop, and down. So as we can also see that there is only one main form and one elevator form. So when the main form is the first form that will be displayed when we start the application. So at the main form, when we click on the button elevator 1, it will forward to the elevator form. And the elevator form will show the whole layout GUI of the elevator. So the next one is the separate elevator. The classes are almost the same, except that for this separated elevator, there are 2 elevator forms, which are the elevator 1 form, elevator 2 form. So at the main form, the user can select either elevator 1 or elevator 2, and then it will go to the elevator that he or she wanted. And I think that's for the diagram explanation. So we move forward to our discussion.
Hello and very good day. And I'll be talking about the discussion for our project. First of all, for both the combined elevator and the separated elevator uses the same method and function to operate. In each case, we'll declare a public class of elevator controller, which is a typo, so don't mind about that. And we have the Boolean array of flow ready and the integer current flow at 1, because we want at the start, we were at flow number 1. And then we have the form, which label the form and the panel. Then we have the function of stop, which will, in the perimeter, we will get the integer of flow, and we will set the elevator status to stop and the Boolean of flow ready to false for that particular flow. Next, we have the elevator controller, which we will have the following parameter of number of floors, the level status, the elevator form, and the panel elevator. so that we need to declare the floor ready Boolean array of the number of floor plus 1, because the array start from 0. We have, if we have the floor of 10, we need to have 11 in the 11 things in the array, and the other things are just declaration, and then we will draw the elevator using the function there of the 600 minus current floor times 60, and we're following by the next slide. This is the function, the method of ascent and descent. They are pretty much similar, except the fact that the for loop is one is I minus minus and one is I plus plus. In this will draw the elevator by one floor by one floor, and we will set the current floor as the as the floor selected at the end of this function, because that means we will reach at the target floor we wanted, and then we will execute the stop floor function that I set just now. So next slide. And this is moving the elevator. We will just use this simple method to check that if the elevator is stopped, and then we can perform the ascent or descent function. So, and then for the next one, this is the design for our icon and the emergency stop button. They are user friendly and easy to identify. So move on to the next presenting.
We want to show our fruitful elevator simulating system. Please show the program, someone.
So this is two types of elevators. For the first is combined. We design the button with the two person, which is combined, indicates the combined. Then when we click the exe file, the main form will come out with this introduction sentence. And then when we click the introduction sentence, it go to the elevator's UI. And now we demonstrate the sequence, the elevator simulation. So as you can see, in combined elevator system, the system will move the floor by the array. So for both elevators, they work with the same array, and you can see clearly the elevator will work by the sequence. So just now I press 9 first, and then 8, floor 5, 4, 1, and then it will stop when there are no more updates in the array. So the emergency button is function as the exit of this elevator. This emergency button is used when emergency condition like fire drill or fire happens in the certain floor. So the next elevator is the separate one. So this is the main form of the elevator 2 separated system. So elevator 1 will come out when we click it, as well as the elevator 2. But for this separated elevator system, it can work. They can work separately at the same time. So when one of the elevators malfunction or fire happens on one of the elevators, user can press the emergency button to close the to shut down the elevator. And when it comes back to normal, we can choose again the elevator.
Okay, so for example, when a user is using lift 1, so he will start from the first floor, then he will press the outside button first floor. Okay, so the lift will go to the first floor and fetch the customer. So then the customer will go inside to the inside lift, and then he will press the inside button lift 4, for example, when he want to go to level 4. Okay, but now he changed his mind. He want to go to level 8, so he pressed the inside button level 8. Yeah. So now he's satisfied and he went out to the lift and the task is complete. But when another customer went into the lift from 8th floor and then he want to go to level 1, so he pressed inside button level 1. Yeah, but then okay, so we need to understand that when he come from level 8 to level 1, the emergency happened. So what if
we press the stop button. Yeah, then the lift will stop completely and wait the rescue from the rescue station. That's all. Thank you.
I would like to conclude our project. So I think we think that writing code continues to be valued as one of the most important skills to pick up today. At first, it's hard to know which programming language is a good choice to learn, but we believe that C# is still a relevant programming language and still widely used in the programming industry. Through this project, we realized that C# can be used for building practically anything due to its versatility, adaptability, and amazing support. We are capable of designing our own elevator simulation system and accomplish all the requirements given. We added some extra features as well into our system, such as we do 2 leaps in this instead of 1, and we also implement the emergency button. Furthermore, we believe that the 2 lifts can provide a more convenient and higher mobility in a high-rise building. You don't want to have everyone crowded in front of just 1 lift. And so we are grateful to be involved in this project, and we shall learn a lot from it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for giving the opportunity for us to develop such amazing and take part in such an amazing project. Thank you very much. That's all from us.